How's it going, everybody? Today let's talk about Ninja. So recently Ninja has gotten some flack from a small subsection of his fan base regarding his recent change to swear less on his Twitch streams and subsequently in his YouTube videos. Honestly, there's two real sides that are kind of combating here, and like face value, this issue doesn't sound like it's that that deep, but honestly there's quite a few there's only two stances on it really, but there's a couple ways to deal with it, and different YouTubers take different approaches, and it's interesting. And as angry as these people are, and as much as they're calling Ninja a hypocrite, at the end of the day, he's really not. So let's talk about that. Well, I'm gonna juxtapose in here and talk about basically the two different arguments that surround this situation, just so we're all on the same page in this discussion. So one side is on the side of censorship, and they believe that it's a good thing that creators censor themselves because a large portion of their audience is children, and children shouldn't be exposed to things like sexual content and swears and all the rest of it, and the onus is on the creator to solve that problem. And basically the other argument is that it's the parents' job to stop their children, and the YouTube creator or the Twitch streamer shouldn't have to censor their content. It's the parent's job to be a parent, and if they don't like their kid watching somebody who swears, then it's up to them to make sure that they don't watch him. So let's talk about how Ninja was streaming with rappers, and how the rappers, I'm guessing, were swearing, and this is why people are calling Ninja a hypocrite. Because he used to play with popular rappers, and they would swear a lot in his videos, his earlier videos, and now suddenly Ninja's deciding that swearing is not okay. So this portion of his fan base is like, dude, what the hell? You bring all these rappers in, and they cuss up a fucking storm, and then suddenly when you get really popular, you decided to not swear anymore. And I think, honestly, this change can be attributed to Ninja's changing fan base and his rise in popularity. Before he played with Drake, well, I can't say this definitively, but before Ninja played with Drake, I feel like a lot of people didn't know who he was, especially people outside of the YouTube Twitch community. And now that he's kind of broken, I guess, these media boundaries, he's come more into the public sphere, and he's gained a lot of attention. And a lot of this attention that he's been given is a younger demographic. And a lot of it, there's a very large portion of younger people that use YouTube to watch videos. And not just YouTube kids. No matter how much YouTube wants to defend themselves and say that YouTube isn't for children, at the end of the day, there's a very large portion of YouTube viewership is young adults and teenagers, and even younger than that. So now that Ninja's gotten, his demographic has changed because of his popularity, he's gotten, I don't want to be the typical person and say that most of his fan base is children, but he recognizes that there is children, and quite a few of them, that watch him, and so he feels responsible to censor himself a little bit. So is he a hypocrite for that? I don't think so. And even if he is, I mean, so what? It doesn't matter. So in my personal opinion, I don't think Ninja is a hypocrite. But I don't necessarily agree with his decision. Not the decision itself, I should say, but the reasons behind the decision. guessing a streamer by the name of Noah J456. I think he's a streamer. I don't watch his content, but he said, "I actually can't believe Ninja is getting flack for not swearing on some of his streams anymore. I rarely swear. Parents are going to let their kids watch YouTube, Twitch. You can't control parenting, but what you can control is teaching kids you can be funny without using bad words." See, I kind of agree with this message. I kind of, like, a part of me agrees that, you know, it's a good thing to change yourself. Like, be the change you want to see in the world, right? If you want to see a world where kids aren't watching YouTube videos with, like, really bad language, then, you know, be the guy to change that. But what I don't agree with is that parents are going to let their kids watch YouTube or Twitch. You know, I don't agree with that whole sentiment that, you know, it's the Twitch or the YouTube streamer's job to censor themselves for the parents. You know, I think that sets a bad precedent. Because I've seen, like, for example, a YouTuber by the name of Cartoons. I've been subscribed since before 1 million subscribers for him. And in the early days, he used to get a lot of shit from people's parents that would let their little Jimmy watch cartoons, and he would cuss up a fucking storm, and they'd be like, "Dude, what the hell? You know, I let my kids watch you. Like, can you stop swearing?" He's like, "No, I'm not going to change my content for you. If you're going to be a parent and you're going to let your kids watch my YouTube show and you don't like that shit, then how about you step up and be a fucking mom or be a fucking dad and tell your kid to, you know, stop watching. You know, do your job as a parent. If you think there's a problem and there's something that your kid is doing that you don't like, then, you know, the onus is on you." And I kind of agree with that. Like, there's a big portion of me that thinks that, you know, the creator is responsible, but a lot of it is on the parents as well. To give a really good example, you have what happened with, like, Jake and Logan Paul. I think, was it VidCon that they did all that stupid shit where they, like, came out and, like, fans were stampeding and trampling one another? Or remember that Walmart thing that Jake Paul did with all his, like, little, like, fans that were all over the place, and it was just nuts? You know, that stuff is fucking dangerous. And I feel like the creators are responsible for something like that to an extent. Because it's not just like online content anymore. Like, it's actual, like, real world endangerment. But here's the problem, like, in the same sphere, like, what kind of parent lets their fucking kids go to, like, Walmart to go see Jake Paul and doesn't, like, you know, doesn't watch over them, doesn't come with them? I know that would be super lame if your parents came with you to Walmart to go see Jake Paul, but I mean, fuck. Like, people could have died, and people might still die if the Pauls do some stupid shit like that with the public and how crazy it gets and everything. But as far as swearing goes, like, just because somebody says fuck or shit in a video, that doesn't mean that somebody's gonna die about it. Like, the worst thing that's gonna happen is little Jimmy's gonna go to school and say fuck or shit or something like that. There's a whole argument behind, like, swears and how they fit into, like, social norms and stuff like that. And I feel like the internet community is fairly accepting of abrasive language, but in the real world, not so much. Pretty much shock people in public if you say something, like, super nasty. Alright, let's get it back on the rails. Parenting. So yeah, Cartoons said that, and, you know, Jacksepticeye, when he went on the late night show, he said pretty much the same thing. He said the same thing to the host, and, you know, he tweets these things as well. He tweets he tweets no shit, RedBeard. He tweets things that, it's like, I think it was the Muppets or the Sesame Street show or something like that. They were targeted originally for, like, an older audience, and they were only played at, like, nighttime in America. And, like, that was their target demographic, and it was just kids that ended up watching them. You know, I don't know how much truth there is to that, but I feel like that's the way that it happens for a lot of YouTubers, right? You know, they don't target children with their adult content specifically, but children tend to flock to adult content. And, you know, this is true. You can't lie about it. You know, it's the whole, like, MTE video game shit. You know, kids always want to be older. They want to play all the T and M games that adults get to play. They always want that like restricted thing, you know, the grass is always greener on the other side. So when you have a content creator who has more adult themed content, you know, kids have a tendency, it seems like, to flock to it. So does that mean that the creator is in the wrong for not censoring themselves in the first place if their target audience was supposed to be older? I don't think so. But what if their audience changes like it has for Ninja and suddenly they become younger? Like, does the creator at this point have a responsibility to switch up his content and be a little more respectful? I don't know. I don't think I'm paid enough to answer that question. Ninja's figured it out, I guess. He's gonna censor himself. At the end of the day, you know, it's Ninja's Twitch channel and it's his YouTube channel, and he can do whatever pretty much the fuck he wants with it, because it's his. So anyway, what can we take away from this? Well, Ninja isn't a hypocrite, for sure. I don't necessarily agree with the reasons why he's censoring himself, but at the end of the day, it's his channel, it's his Twitch stream, and he can do whatever the hell he wants. It's just that's how it is. But if it was me, I don't know. I don't think I would censor myself. I would stand with like Jacksepticeye and cartoons, in that, you know, if you don't want your kids watching this stuff, then so what? And you know what? Because of this, you know, even though Ninja is probably going to lose a little bit of his fan base, just like probably a small portion, because he's not swearing anymore, he'll probably gain, like, it makes economic sense to not swear, because he'll gain a ton of more like kid subscribers whose parents feel like, you know what, this guy is kid friendly, you know, he doesn't swear during his streams anymore, and there's no sexual content, so it's fine. So yeah, the guy's gonna get probably more money from this decision than he will from, you know, not swearing. So it just makes business sense. Anyway, those are some of my thoughts surrounding the whole Ninja controversy. It's not really that big of a deal, but just thought I'd add my 2 cents into the fray. Don't be afraid to click that like button, subscribe, and check out my other content. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.